Welcome to Northern Kentucky Magazine on this Friday, February 12th. I had to check the month because I've been so busy. Pat Crowley here. Nancy James off today. She'll be back Monday. Welcome, everybody. Looks like we're going to get another blast of snow over the weekend. I was talking to our director, Dennis Rudy, and his son goes to law school up in Washington. And we were laughing that they have 50 inches of snow on the ground. Do you believe that? That was back, you guys were all too young. Danny, you might remember back 77, 78 when we got hit in Cincinnati and the river froze. Just unbelievable. It's just shut the town down. And Dennis was mentioning when his son left for school, they were going to put a snow shovel in the car, and the son said, "I don't need that. It never snows in Washington." So I'm sure he's learning a lesson on that, but he's been out of school all week, so I'm sure he's happy. We're supposed to get a little more of a blast on Sunday here, so I'm sure we'll be hearing about it all through the news for the next couple days on that. But it is good because I know I'm going down to the mountains. My son plays ball down in Grayson tomorrow, and they said we'll be fine tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about driving down the AA, which is Bobby Mackey territory. I mentioned Bobby because Bobby's here today, along with Danny Frazier. I met Danny years ago when he was playing with a friend of mine named Jim Morris. I think they're playing back together again. And Danny and Bobby are going to be out here. We're going to talk to them on the couch a little bit, and then we're going to talk. They're going to play some songs, and Danny's going to be at Bobby Mackey's February 13th, which is tomorrow night, and next Saturday, 8 o'clock down in Wilder. And guy's an incredible talent. He's been in Nashville. I know we're going to talk about that, and we get a chance to catch up. Bobby, thanks a lot for coming on. One of my favorite guests, buddy. Good to see you.
Thank you, Pat. Great to be here.
And Danny Frazier, who's a great talent. Danny, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
It's been years since I've seen you.
Pleasure.
Tell us about your career, and tell us what you've been up to. You're from Texas or California originally?
California, and then grew up all my formative years in Kerrville, Texas, in the hill country near San Antonio.
Okay.
And, you know, used to play down at the River Saloon in the 90s, way back in the 1900s.
Yeah, that's when I met you.
Yeah. And went on the road for a long time, and then after the record deal was over, I got a publishing deal there in Nashville, lived there for a while, and then came back here to be close to my children. So
now, what's a publishing deal? Is that where you're writing songs?
Yeah, writing deal.
How's that? Is that
it's a thing
difficult?
where they give you a little money up front, and then they take all your songs and own them, and you find that out on the backside usually.
Up front's the key.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
None behind.
The thing where they steal your music, basically. Is what that is. Yeah.
How long were you in Nashville?
I only lived there for a year. When
Yeah.
we had the record deal, we drove back and forth.
Yeah.
And stayed here.
Is that it's a tough business to break into, isn't it?
Yeah, it's real tough. Yeah.
And you're playing down at Bobby Mackey's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, Saturday
Absolutely,
night,
yeah,
and then next Saturday as well.
Yeah, we tried this, a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of dark time. You know, it gets dark early. I don't go on stage till 10 o'clock, so we figured, you know, gee whiz, let's do something with the earlier hour there on Saturday night. So we asked Danny to come aboard, and had a great crowd a few weeks ago, and 8 o'clock show.
Yeah.
And so we asked him back, and you know, this is Mardi Gras week.
Yeah.
Weekend. So you take Mardi Gras and a set of beads and a mechanical bull and a dance floor and a ghost and a great country band, and you know, it does something to people.
That's a good day, especially those beads, I bet, huh?
The beads.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out.
On the mechanical bull.
On the mechanical bull, of course. That'd be great. Now, Danny, have you played at Bobby's before back in the day?
I did a benefit there one time where I just got up and did a few songs, I think. But this was the first time I played with my entire band there. And
everybody's been there sometime or other.
Yeah, we had a great time. I tell you what, it was so much fun for us because it was like first time I played a real honky tonk in years. I don't think there's another one around anywhere in the area, you know. And the sound is great there.
You're natural too.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You are very
natural
good.
on the honky tonk.
Right, yeah. And Jim Morris is back with you too.
Jim Morris is back, and most of the guys from the original band Frazier River that was on Decca Records are back with me. And,
Mark Gray, our friend Mark Gray.
And Mark Gray's playing with me now on drums, and he's amazing. Yeah.
What was your single off of that CD?
We had a couple of them. The first one was "She Got What She Deserves."
Yeah.
And then we had a couple videos on CMT, "Tangled Up in Texas," and then a song called "Last Request."
Yeah. That must have been an exciting time.
It was fun.
Yeah.
A little rowdy, but it was a good time.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, I'm sure that was fun. Bobby, what do you like about Danny's music?
Oh, he's great. He's he's like you've been saying, he's been around a while, and he fit in great over at the club, and we had never sung together, but so I got him up on stage with me when my band and I started at 10. Couldn't find him; he got hid somewhere. But, we did a song together. We'll do one today too.
Yeah. What are you going to sing today?
I think we'll do Rambling Fever.
Merle Haggard.
Merle Haggard. You love Merle Haggard.
Oh, yeah. You know, if it wasn't for Merle Haggard,
Right.
He's
I
my favorite.
couldn't get through the night, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny, what kind of music, who are your inspirations, and then what do you think about, take that into the current country music and who you like there?
Well, my influences started out in gospel music and a lot of black gospel music. Growing up, my dad was a Pentecostal preacher,
Yeah.
and then my dad's actually the one who turned me on to Merle Haggard. I always tease that he was a closet Merle Haggard fan. Yeah. We'd be driving long distance for him to go preach somewhere, and he'd buy these Merle Haggard cassettes at the truck stop, and then he'd throw them away before we got home so he didn't get busted. And I fell in love with Merle Haggard, and a lot of the guys. I love Waylon and Willie, and I was even into Ronnie Millsap and people like that.
Yeah.
Steve Wariner was one of my favorite singers, and then as far as the new stuff, there ain't a whole lot of it that I find a lot of country, and that's what I love about Bobby. You know, he's country, and
right.
You know, but there's a few of them out there I like. I think that Jamie Johnson's pretty good.
He's good, yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of it is almost pop anymore.
Yeah.
My daughter, who's 21, loves Kenny Chesney and Tim McGraw, and I like Tim McGraw. I like Kenny Chesney. And I like it, but it's not the kind of roots, the kind of music you sing.
It's a different kind of music.
Yeah.
You know, nothing wrong with it.
Right.
I mean, that's what the young people are turning on to. But people who like country music can't find it anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Except in Wilder, Kentucky.
Yeah. You hear a lot about that and read a lot about it.
There's a lot of great talent around here.
Yeah.
You know, like Danny and Danny Burton is going to be over at the club in a few weeks.
Yeah.
What a great talent he is.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. When you were growing up down in Lewis County, Bobby, was Cincinnati known as a good music town, a good country music town? I know there was television shows that promoted a lot of country music over the years.
Well,
was it considered a good music town?
You know, I don't know. I'm kind of blank on that.
Yeah.
But when I came down here out of high school and went to work on the railroad, when I started going out and finding jam stations, there were lots of jam stations back then. Now you can't hardly find one.
Oh, yeah.
But every Sunday there would be a jam station somewhere, and so you could, everybody would get together.
Yeah. How'd you end up in this part of the country, Danny?
My father being a preacher.
Okay.
Well, he was actually born and raised, I don't know if I should tell this, but in Hamilton, Ohio. So,
okay, right.
And he got all sentimental at some point in our lives and decided he wanted to come back to this area, this neck of the woods, and so that's how we ended up back here.
Did you ever think of Cincinnati as a country music town at all, or this part of Kentucky? Probably.
Probably not. I don't know if too many people do. You
Yeah.
know, I think Kentucky I did. I mean, it's close
Sure.
enough, obviously.
Right.
There's a lot of great bluegrass
Yeah.
in this area, and even up in Dayton, Ohio, I know there used to be some
Yeah.
pretty there. You know, I know Red Osborne from the Osborne. I mean, Red Allen, Harley Allen's a good friend of mine. His father come out of Dayton, Ohio, and was in the Osborne Brothers for years and wrote a lot of their standards.
Well, you know, I mean, everybody around here has relatives that came up from the mountains and came up to work.
Dwight
and
Yoakam used to play
work.
in this area all the time when he was young because he was from the hollers of Kentucky.
Yeah.
He played here in Columbus, Ohio all the time.
You know, my daughter was looking at colleges. We looked at IU, and we were coming home from IU, and you know, there's a long state route you go up through Columbus, Indiana, and there was a roadhouse there, and this was 3 years ago, and it was a Saturday, and I wish I could have stayed. The bill was Dwight Yoakam and Ronnie Millsap.
Wow.
At a roadhouse. I mean,
amazing.
I know that really is amazing. Would have been a great show.
Dwight was coming through town one time from Columbus on his way to Nashville, and he stopped. I guess I had a live radio show every Friday night at the time, and he stopped in, and we put him on the radio show.
Yeah.
That's before anybody really knew who he was.
Yeah, because he was born in Pikeville,
That's
I think,
cool.
or and then raised in
Pikeville.
Dayton and Columbus.
And
right?
it ended up in Columbus, and then commuted back and forth from Columbus to Nashville, and he was on his way through and stopped in, and I put him on the live radio show on Friday night.
Where was your radio show?
It was on WUBE,
Yeah.
B105 today.
Hey, Danny, when you play, do you do original? Do you do covers?
We do a mixture. We do a good bit of originals, and then we cover everything from Merle Haggard and Waylon and Willie to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and Eric Clapton, and
What do you
Stevie
do on
Ray
Tom
Vaughan.
Petty? What are you doing, Tom?
I do Last Dance with Mary Jane. I do. What else do I do? You Wreck Me.
Yeah, I love Tom Petty.
I do too. Big fan.
Bobby, what else is coming up at the club? Anything coming up this winter that you want to talk about?
Well, this Sunday we've got a big thing there with lots of bands coming in honoring Clyde Markham, a local guitar player, a great guitar player. In fact, when I first started out playing music, the first band I ever played with, Clyde Markham was the guitar player.
When did you start playing? When did you come up here?
I come down in 1966 out of high school, and that dates me a little bit there.
Right, yeah. Well, we just celebrated the 30th anniversary of the club, right?
31.
31,
Yeah,
on the show here we
so-
did. Thanks to RJ,
Yeah, so
I saw that show too, by the way.
Did you?
I text you. Yeah, I never hear back from him. But I was flipping through the channels and I landed on it and watched the whole thing. It was awesome. Man.
Yeah. All right, Danny Frazier, Bobby Mackey, thanks for coming on. We're going to hear from
having
them this Saturday night, the 13th. Next Saturday night, there's your information down at the club. What a bill! You can see Danny Frazier and then Bobby Mackey.
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. That's right. Get those beads out, baby.